What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Testify Tuesday, episode 11. I am so excited to be here and share this with you. If you are listening to the podcast, feel free to pop on over to Kenesha Morrison on Facebook to see me live record this every Tuesday. It is www.facebook.com/lashes, y'all, and come watch me pre-record this for you every Tuesday. I love the live recording because it allows me to be able to interact with all of you and get to know you on a personal level. If you get anything out of any of the episodes, I would love to shout you out from a review. Post it in your stories, reshare it on your page, make cute memes with quotes that you love. I love to know that I am offering something of value because I'm here and I'm being vulnerable and I'm opening myself up to all of you. So please know when you're on the live recording, although I don't respond physically in the moment when you guys are commenting because this is for the podcast, I do read your posts and I do read your comments and your encouragement and you just loving on me and loving me through what my journeys are going through with the podcast. So thank you for being here. Thank you for investing your Tuesdays with me for the 20 minutes that we do this every single Tuesday. So today is the 14th. It is July 14th, and it is a day of reflection for me. My daughter was born on February 14th, 2017, stillborn at 36 weeks, 6 pounds, 8 ounces, 21 inches long. And I think it's important to share her story because a person dies twice. They die the day that they die, and then they die from the last time someone says their name. That was the best quote someone ever told me when I was beginning to go through this. So I kind of wanted to tell you about her today, if that's okay with you guys, and tell you some of the lessons that I've learned from being a grieving mother. So I became a mother very young. I was 18 years old when I had my first son, 20 when I had my second son, 21 and a half. I was turning 22 the next month with my third son. And for about 3.5 years there, I realized that I was worth more than breeding. And I say that because my children literally were badges of honors for me because I didn't have an education. I didn't really have anything in life, it felt, but my children. And I know most women can relate to that when you feel like you don't have anything else to offer the world but the love you get from those babies. Some of us get fight from them to show up and be all the things and be everything that they need. And then other of us, it kind of drowns us and makes us feel like our children are all we have and that's all that we should have. So when I was having my third son, I was in a place where my business was taking off and it was skyrocketing. Literally, I had him at 6:00 p.m. I had a coaching call with my team, a conference call 2 hours later at 8:00. That's how intense I was. He was 2 hours old and mama was still hustling and bustling and doing the things. So my life at that time was I was having 3 boys. I was 22 years old. I was running to get to the top of this company. I was hungry. I was tired of living with roaches. I was tired of having lack and being in a lack mindset. I was tired of the car breaking down on the side of the street. I was just tired. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I was willing to hustle, bustle, whatever I had to do to get out of that situation. So in a year's time, we built really quickly. 2 years in, we got our credits fixed from beautifycredit.com. She's amazing. She holds your hand, walks you through it, loves on you all the way through the process. She completely changed my life, got my credit together. So we were able to purchase a home 3 years into the business. We bought the home. 2 weeks later, we bought a brand new car. Brand new car. We did all the things. We furnished it. We had a great time, right? We enjoyed coming out of poverty. And 2 weeks after we closed on the house, 2 weeks later, we bought a car. 2 weeks later, we found out we were pregnant. And I was completely devastated because I was on the birth control. You know, I was doing all the things. So I felt like my life was over. Like I'm tied down. I just got out of the potty training stage. And I want you to know it's okay to not be okay. I was not okay when I saw that positive stick. And for those of you that suffer with infertility, this is not an attack at you. I am not meaning that in the most humble way that I can say that to you. I was upset not because I didn't want another child, but because of what I thought that would mean for my career. So I was very sad about it. I thought that I was going to have to slow down, that it was going to change everything about my life. And I literally, I just got rid of the diaper bags. I just got rid of all the strollers. We just got him sleeping in his own bed. So it was trying to adjust to starting that all over again. But it was in a new light, right? Because now we're not in poverty. We're not trying to figure out how we're going to pay for this and pay for that. We had money to go to the doctor. It was the first time I had ever had a private doctor that I got to pick, because in Mississippi, Medicaid gives you like a list of certain doctors you can use. So that was like a newfound freedom that I had. So I was going to be a different mother to this child than I was my previous 3 children. We found out July 4th weekend we were having a little girl, having a baby. 6 weeks later, we found out we was having a little girl. We had a gender reveal. All of our loved ones was there. We cut the cake. We had a great time. I had a over-the-top baby shower. Any and everybody could come. It was Martin Luther King weekend when we did it. It was my house transformed into a castle. Like literally. And I share all that to say I was able to make memories with my daughter unknowingly. I was also homeroom mom for 2 of my son's classrooms. I was running a business. My husband was working 2 jobs. We were busy, and I was supposed to be on bed rest. I should have been sitting. My babies get excited. They want to come out early, but I thought I was superwoman. And that's point number 1 I want you to know. Well, point 2. Point 1 is it's okay to not be okay. Point 2, know when to slow down and know when to speed up. I thought I had something to prove because in my mind, I was determined to not lose my career and not get caught up in another baby where I was going to be held down and tied down. So come on, you coming with me type of thing where I literally was insane. I literally worked myself to the bone. I'm having all type of lower abdomen pressure, and I was having a hip problem because the hips was adjusting, and I really should have just sat my pregnant butt down somewhere, and I didn't. So know when to take your mental health seriously, especially during a time like this with the pandemic and all the things that are happening. You're going to see some people that are reading over the top books and they're just reading. Others are starting new businesses left and right. And then others should just be resting. And if you're in a rest stage of your life, respect that. Because point 3, there will be signs along the way that tell you if you are on the right path or how to get you on a better path. So all the time, I'm dropping my kids off at school. I'm picking them up. I am overdoing my body to the point where people I'll do that Christmas party for you. I'll do, this for you. Let me help you with this. And I got to do it. Because in my mind, if I let someone help me, that means that I'm weak. And if I'm weak, then I'm going to fall into this cycle where I'm just going to be a stay-at-home mom again. And I was determined to not go back there again. So please know, asking for help is not weak. It is not weak, and it does not make you a weak woman. It actually is the direct opposite of that. It makes you empowered. It makes you strong to know that you need help and that it's okay to accept the help. If I could tell then Kanisha that it would be, let someone else do it. You don't have to. I stood on my feet for 12 hours fixing Thanksgiving dinner. Like, I was really insane during that time. So a month after we had the baby shower, I was having some back pains, and that was normal for me. But apparently a month later, I was having back pains. I go to the doctor, and I had never been checked and not be dilated. So he checked me and he was like, nope, like, you're fine. And I'm like 36 weeks at this point. And at 36 weeks, I usually deliver. And men, listen to your gut, ladies. Listen to your gut. Me and him had not been jiving most of this pregnancy, but it was the first time I got to pick a doctor, and he was highly recommended, and all the best mothers in my area used him, and he's just the best of the best. He has a coffee bar, and his door entrance is glass, and his ultrasounds are 4 and 5D. Like, he was the over-the-top best doctor in my area, but our spirits never meshed. Your gut is never wrong. Your intuition is never wrong. If something doesn't sit right with you, it is for a reason. So I ignored all those things. He checked me, and my husband was there, and he goes, that I'm not effaced, I'm not dilated, nothing. And I go, and for 3 appointments, I had been telling him, like, I don't feel her kick. I'm not feeling her. And that same day, he sent me to get an ultrasound done. The ultrasound tech says my daughter was practicing to breathe more than most babies would. She was practicing to breathe more than usual, was the quote that she said. So we wait for the doctor to come back. He's supposed to look at the examinations. By then, we've been there 4.5 hours. And I look at my husband and I'm still confused at why I'm not dilated or anything. Like, I should be delivering. Something's not right. And I'm telling my husband something's not right. And I had a friend that experienced a placenta abruption 2 months prior to my daughter passing. There's those clues, right? People offering the help. Clue 1. She had her experience where her child passed away the day of she was supposed to be induced. So that I felt like was a profound gut thing of don't do this. Long story short, he brushed it off like I was just out of my mind. He convinced my husband that I was fine and nothing was everything was wrong. Nothing was wrong. That I was fine. The baby was fine. Nothing is wrong. And his words was, next time I see you, you should be having a baby. So that was the Monday, February 7th. And I got an ultrasound picture, and that was the last picture of her. That Saturday, labor started, stopped. And that was normal for me. Monday, I had a doctor's appointment. I skipped it. I skipped that appointment because I was still so mentally exhausted from the previous appointment, from no one listening. And I'm sure you as women can relate to that. Who listens, right? You have to be your greatest advocate. 1 in 3 African American women deliver babies that are either stillborn or pass away in delivery. So please know that. That is the statistic. Women have the highest birth rate of deceased of themselves or their children. So I skipped the appointment because I was exhausted. I labored at home for a few hours. The pains got a little bit closer together. I had discharge, so I'm like, okay, we must be in phase in dilation going on. This is normal. Chris is going to come home from work. He's going to take me to the doctor. We go pick the boys up from school because, we don't have any support system here. So we go pick the boys up. We're going to go to the hospital. My in-laws were coming. They were going to get the boys from the hospital. So we get there and my husband goes in to get the kids. And when he comes back to the car, I puke. And I had never puked ever. And in that moment, I knew this is not going to end good. Like, this is just not going to end good. Listening to your gut. We go to the hospital and they hook me up to the little monitor. They take all the vitals and I move a certain way and the scan goes off. So the woman comes back to put the scan back on there, but this time there's no heartbeat. We now know the first time she put it on and there was a heartbeat, it was actually mine. So she couldn't find one. And she's scrambling, looking all around, trying to find it. She's ordering ultrasound techs to come in. Someone give me a scan here. She orders, I guess it was quicker to get an intern that was doing his ultrasound internship. So he comes in, and that was the first time he did not see a heartbeat. So I'm texting my husband. They can't find a heartbeat. And the ultrasound tech is scanning all over my belly, and he's looking, and he just starts bawling. And he's like, I know I see it. And I go, you don't see it. You don't see it. You don't see it. You don't see it. I mentally lapsed out. You don't see it. And I just kept saying it until he accepted it. And I did not cry. I wasn't scared. I really felt like my friend's experience was a life experience for me. And I share that to say none of us go through anything in life alone for ourselves. We all go through something to grow through something to help someone else come out on top. We labor for 12 hours. We deliver at 12:02 Valentine's Day. I was determined to get that girl out on February 13th because I didn't want that to be the reminder every 14th. That was just where my mindset was. I now realize every Valentine's Day, even if she came on the 13th or the 12th, Valentine's Day was just going to suck, right? That's just where, but mentally I thought, oh great, Valentine's Day is now over. And we don't celebrate Valentine's Day. We buy a birthday cake. We celebrate her. I talk about her quite often. I am able to joke about the pain now, but I want to share something that I experienced that a lot of women go through, from miscarriages all the way to stillborns to babies passing away from SIDS. It is called empty hand syndrome. I experienced it. Empty hand syndrome means your mind still believes you have a baby, because although I delivered, my body does not know that she passed. My placenta actually abrupted, and that was the way of that. And this is the first time I've actually done a live on it. It is taking me 3.5 years to heal and to be able to stand strong in front of you and offer this on Facebook Live. And I want you to know that it takes time to heal. And I went through this insane process where I would wake up and I would hear a baby crying. You still get milk in your breast. Like, your body has no idea you didn't bring a baby home. So I would get engorged because I'm supposed to be feeding a baby, right? The pains from contractions going back to normal, waking up, hearing the baby. I could smell a baby. I would look at a baby and want to take it home. Of course, I never kidnapped anybody's child, but there were thoughts of it. There were thoughts of, how can I put this baby in a bag and nobody know? And I know that sounds so insane, but that's where you are in empty arm syndrome. Quite a few women also get on antidepressant because that's not normal. It's not normal to bury a child, people. Like, that's not something that you can just accept and process and bury and just move forward. You know what I mean? It's not normal. So because of that, they take a little bit of help, sometimes antidepressants, to help get through it. Please know that's okay if you decide to do that. If I can offer anything or any advice to someone that has experienced child loss, accept that you will never be the person you were before that loss. I wasted so much time trying to get back to that Kenesha. I just wanted her back so bad, to the point where I pretended like it just didn't even happen, because it's easier to have out of sight, out of mind than it is to be present and feel what you feel and grow through it and become it. So I completely became a mess. I spilled that hurt all over social media. I posted photos of me crying. I did insane video rants. I experienced running through. I spent literally $100,000 in 6 months. I put in a pool. I bought stuff I didn't need it. I went over and beyond to run every red cent that I had earned in the ground. And it made me feel good. I bought trees and watched them die, because hurt people, and misery loves company. So I say that with a smile, because I know where my growth came from. I know where I came from. I know the people that judged me, that talked about me, that shared those videos, that mocked me, that waited for my empire to crumble and to crash because they felt like I was a train wreck. And I was a beautiful train wreck to watch. Please know that life circumstances are only meant to make you better. They're only meant to make you better and force you to grow to be better. Now, listen, there's a period where you should sit and you should heal and you should grow. And then there's a period where you have to get back up and fight. But please know that you are the determining factor between the two choices. You get to decide to sit there, but you also get to decide to stand back up. And it's not your job to make people feel comfortable in your uncomfortable position. It's not your job. So I talk about my daughter freely. She should be 3 years old. I am her mother, and I am always going to be her mother. It makes normal questions that sound like everyday questions to you that will be normal, unnormal, like how many children do you have? I still say 7 with 1 in heaven, and the people's face goes colorless. Like the blood just stops circulating because they can't believe I openly say that. But I did the work. I built her for 9 months. I birthed her for 12 hours. I had her natural with no medicine. I felt all the things. So yes, I am going to claim that. And as uncomfortable as that make other people be, that's my journey. And know that your journey is your journey. And if you're experiencing some type of loss or grief, please know that that's a part of life, that we all have to experience it at some point with someone that we love. And death has no age limit. It knows no age. When it's your number and it's your time, whether you are no days old like my daughter or 100 years old, live that dash the best that you can. There's no age limit no time limit on grief. I went to counseling. I'm still in counseling. I still have resentment. I'm still up angry. Grief comes in waves. I still find myself so angry. And then I also found myself joyous and beautiful and excited because that experience made me fearless and blunt. And I am able to take obstacles and turn them into my opportunity, because once you are broken on that level, nothing can hold you back and no one can put a glass ceiling on you. Allow your pain to become your gain and what you need to do. I am Kenesha Morrison, and this is your Testify Tuesday, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.